Hi, I'm Chap Bettis, author of The Disciple Making Parent, and this is my audio blog, where I read some of my blog posts in audio format for your convenience. In today's episode, we're going to be thinking about this idea that your spouse is not your rock. All of us need a rock, but your spouse is not that rock. If you've ever watched any construction, you know that a large amount of time is spent establishing a part of the building or house that you're not going to see. At first glance, it seems the builders spend a disproportionate amount of time digging the foundation of the building. But that unseen construction is vital for the structure to stand during the coming stresses. Without it, the building will fall. The doctrine of God's unchangeableness, or as theologians call it, immutability, is similar. At first glance, it doesn't seem as interesting as the other attributes like God's love, or His omniscience, or His sovereignty. But like a foundation, it gives support to the structure during the stresses. David referenced this strong metaphor over and over again. When faced with the trials of life, he was able to declare, "The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge." God even refers to himself as the eternal rock. And while God's immutability suggests a God who doesn't change, he's not static. He is more like an unchanging, ever-active Niagara Falls. Always steady, always faithful. And that brings us to family life. In the small troubles of life, whether it's bosses or disobedient children or financial problems or marriage stress, or not the small troubles, but large trials like cancer, unemployment, betrayal, whether it's small or large, we need a rock. Unfortunately, it's easy to expect our spouse to be that rock. Sometimes husbands expect their wives to be that rock, and at other times it's the wife that expects her husband to stand strong. And since he cannot be what only God can be, it's easy for one of the spouses to become discontented with the other in that trial. Ruth Graham's quotation for wives certainly applies to both husbands and wives. But she says this, "It's the foolish woman who expects her husband to be to her that which only Jesus Christ himself can be, ready to forgive, totally understanding, unendingly patient, invariably tender and loving, unfailing in every area, anticipating every need, and making more than adequate provision." Isn't that true that both you and I can often expect our spouse to be what only Jesus Christ himself can be? In other words, she's saying, don't expect your spouse to be your rock. Only God can be that. You do have a rock, only it's not your spouse. That's too much to ask of anyone. Thank you for listening to the Disciple Making Parent audio blog. Did you know that we send out a weekly equipping email on family discipleship? I'm regularly amazed at the number of listeners who don't know about this regular weekly resource. It's filled with articles, links, as well as suggested resources. Just go to our website, thedisciplemakingparent.com, and sign up through the pop-up. And as a bonus, we'll give you the audiobook of The Disciple Making Parent for free. That's right, absolutely free. So head on over to thedisciplemakingparent.com. Thanks for listening.